Quilters, today we're launching the Die to Try series Die for December.
That's right. Stay tuned for a block party of inspiration this block on board offers.
It's kind of lame.
Yeah.
It's okay. Hey, Quilters, I'm Pam Heller, AccuQuilt's cutting expert.
And I'm Erica Bodker, AccuQuilt's creativity expert. I have learned today I am horn blower challenge.
Yes, but we're excited about today's Die to Try because
right.
it is the December Block on Board Bash. Today we are launching the Die to Try series for December, the last of 2022.
The last of 2022. This new die has been such a blast to work with, Quilters.
Oh, I can't wait any longer. Let's share what the new Die to Try is.
Okay, can we get a party horn, please?
There you go.
That's much better.
Yay!
It's the Go Priscilla Stripe 6-inch finish die. Indeed.
There we go. We have tons of fun planned for you today since this is a block on board bash. Two of our experts, Vicki, Parrish, and Anita, Amador, will be joining us later to offer their party-tastic ideas using this new die.
Plus, we've got some great prizes, inspirational project ideas, and such a sweet trunk show.
Here's a look at our new Die to Try, the Go Priscilla Stripe 6-inch finish die. Once you make your first Priscilla Stripe block, you'll have a new favorite die. This 6-inch finished block on board, or bob die, utilizes 7 geometric shapes to cut a single 4-color block in just one pass through any Go fabric cutter, including the Studio 2 with the appropriate adapter. Making the Priscilla Stripe block with this die means there's no paper piecing required, allowing quilters to effortlessly create any of the free downloadable patterns available on our website. Think about pairing this charming block with other bobs that finish to 6 inches, compatible Go cubes, or the Go setting triangle 6-inch finish die to produce unique throw quilts, elaborate table runners, fun wall hangings, and more. The creative possibilities are endless with this easy-to-use die, because at AccuQuilt we help you cut time so you can quilt more.
All right, well, let's kick things off now with a look at the amazing block that this die makes. So here is our sample block.
Look at how cute this is. It looks
adorable.
Totally like a party hat.
It is. It is so fun. It is so fun. It's been so fun to work with. This bob has been just so much fun.
All right, shall we show?
All right, show the
bob
die.
All right, so here's the die that you are going to need to make this block. So remember, this is just one section of our 4-patch.
Right.
Right, so all of these shapes, it can cut a 4-color 6-inch finished block in just one pass through any of our Go fabric cutters, including the Go Me.
Yep.
And the Studio cutter with the appropriate adapter. So we want to kind of talk about the shapes on the die board, and then we're going to lay out some fabric, and we're going to talk about lengthwise grain and the lengthwise blades. So Erica, all of the blades, or all of the shapes, are screen printed to help you know where to lay your fabric and to keep track of your pieces. We have the specialized dog ears and that 1/4-inch seam allowance.
Now these dog ears are really specialized to work for this center of the block.
Right, because the center here, it's got to come together perfectly. And then C, D, and E are the parts of the block that you can totally change up the colorway, and we're going to talk about that as well. And just like all of our bob dies, a 1/4-inch seam allowance is built in. And I'm going to tell you, Erica, I would never cut this block by hand. No. It would take forever.
Oh, it would. It would.
I feel like you would have to use a template or paper piecing.
And they're small pieces, and I wouldn't make it at all. But the die makes cutting it so simple that sewing it is a breeze. So let's cut one out, prove it to everybody just how easy it is.
All right, so we're going to talk about this shape here. This is a half rectangle triangle.
Right.
and it's going to cut them out. Now, this is not the typical triangle and a square.
No, no, it isn't. And one thing you want to remember, and of course, follow the directions.
Right.
Do as we say, not as we always do. But you have to fan fold piece A so that you get both sides.
Yes.
Otherwise, you'll have all the one side.
Right. We're going to use solids today, but that's a great tip if you're using patterns. And then shape B is right here.
That's there in the center.
And these have really specialized dog ears. They're not our typical half square triangles.
They do.
We're going to go here. Now, we're going to give you a lesson in lengthwise grain. So the lengthwise grain is that nice, tight, right here, you're going to see nice and tight, okay? We want the lengthwise grain to be parallel to these lengthwise blades.
Yes.
So normally we lay our fabric over the shapes like this. But today, I'm going to cut 2 different colors because we can. And what we're going to do, quilters, trust us. Trust the process. We're going to lay our fabric this way so that that lengthwise grain is parallel to those lengthwise blades.
Yes.
Okay?
Absolutely.
And we understand that this section here is part, you know, it has these half rectangle triangles on it that's going to stabilize it. But I'm going to tell you, when you see our inspiration today, you might want to just be making these pieces separately.
You might.
You want to make sure you're cutting them correctly.
That's
okay?
right.
So trust the process. We had a whole discussion on it. All right.
A whole discussion.
So we're going to put a mat on. We're going to use our Go Big today because we can.
That's right.
But it's going to go through all of our cutters, including that Go Me.
And that is so fun. Like I said, this is a 6-inch finished block. It's just adorable.
All right, so we're going to give it a little love. We're going to slide, don't lift. And we're going to lay out some of our pieces here.
Yep.
All right. All right, Miss Erica. So we'll just lay out one of the corners here, and if you do it here, then Justin can get a great camera shot.
There we go. Okay, so this, again, we're going to go with these pieces. Now we've got
here.
This piece up in the corner. There we go, like that.
I knew there was a reason I laid out those colors.
There was. Let's go with this color here. We're going to go then with the darker.
Yep.
And then the lighter color for the point. And it's that simple. So you're going to sew the center section together.
Yeah, and you want to show them how those dog ears lay out.
So the dog ears, we're going to put those together. They're going to, like we said, these are really specially designed just for this die. Then that's going to press open. We're going to do the same thing all the way up. And then when you put them together, you'll see that this half rectangle triangle is also specially designed so that those dog ears are going to fit perfectly together.
And one of our really big pro tips is you want to press your seams open, but Erica, you have a couple of others as well.
That's right. So this basically this is the beginning of what you can do with the basic block. So the first pro tip we want to share is to be sure and download the free block assembly directions on the dies page. It's the product page at AccuQuilt.com. So just like we said, follow the directions.
Right, and then use those to make a test block. We always talk about that, make a test block, and have fun with that coloring page as well. There's a video page that Erica and I made showing you just how to cut and sew this block. And last but not least, don't forget to press those seams open.
That's right. Now you always want to follow the pattern directions on pressing as well. If you want, the one place that you can press to the side would be when you're joining the units together, if you want to nest those center seams.
Yeah.
So that would be the one time that you might want to do that.
All right. And this block is so easy to change up the look using color or sashing between the blocks and the cornerstones. And our experts have some amazing ideas.
That's right. But maybe you want to put sashing between the units and a cornerstone in the center. There's something we should do before, but first off, before we go any further with any more wild ideas, there's something we need to do.
That's right. Now that we've shown off our new die to try, why don't we give one away as a party favor to a lucky viewer who registered for today's show?
All right, let's do it. The lucky winner of a Go Priscilla Stripe 6-inch finished die, party horn please, is Christy L. from El Reno, Oklahoma. Congratulations.
Christy.
Oh, Christy, you're going to have a party. You've got a party and a die with this one.
Quilters, for today's Die to Try launch party, we've challenged 2 of our experts to come up with other Bob or Go cubes that work with the Go Priscilla stripe die.
That's right. The first we have is Vicki Parrish. Now, Vicki's a quilter whose passion for quilting began many years ago when she was 8, and her grandfather taught her how to sew her first 1/4-inch seams. I love that so much.
Yes.
Vicki's taught quilting to high school students for the past few years, and she always turns to the AccuQuilt Go system to help beginning quilters gain confidence and see success.
Yay, Vicki. All right, next we have Anita Amador. Anita teaches classes at her local quilt shop and military spouses group using EQ8 patterns designed around the AccuQuilt dies and block patterns. Her passion for quilting goes back to childhood, filled with scrap fabric and the desire to spend time with her grandmother, forever linking quilting to storytelling. Now she makes between 10 and 15 quilts a year, can you believe that? And enjoys the story behind each and every quilt she sews and sees.
Hi, Anita.
Hi, Anita. 10 to 15 is a great number.
That is a big number. Well, let's check out what thrilling ideas our first experts come up with. Vicki, what do you have so far?
Hi, ladies. Today we're here for AccuQuilt's newest launch, Go Priscilla Stripe. Now this is a great new bob that finishes at 6 inches. And ladies, it's a real party on a die. It finishes like this and looks like a piñata. My task today is to pair this new bob with other bobs. And so as this finishes to 6 inches, the first ones that come to mind for me were the Go Wonky Heart or Go Crazy die that finishes to 6 inches. Besides that, I can think of lots of other dies that this would work with, maybe even Hunter Star, because you see, of course, 4 of these 6-inch blocks will make a 12-inch block. There's a couple of things that I want to mention as we look at this cute new bob. If we were to take the pieces, of course, this is how they look if you were to sew it as the instructions come. But what if you just simply flip them around? It's an all sort of different kind of party, isn't that? You could also put them together, maybe like this, for a cute border around a quilt. There's so many options with this. Let me show you a couple of ideas that I also had. Since it's that time of the year when it's cold and Christmas is just around the corner, I played around with a lot of the different pieces. When you look at the die board, you'll see that not all pieces have to be Priscilla stripe. For example, piece C and D, I wanted to show you what I did with them. If you look, I grabbed our gingerbread die and I dressed her up. Look at how cute shape D looks as a purse, or shape D as a piece of luggage. And I challenge you all to always look at your bob boards especially and see what else you can see on that board. What else can I use this die for? I think this is super cute and will be fun for a cute little wall hanging. Next, because it is the season of holiday gifting and 6 inches is the perfect size, I took a block and I made a wine bag. This will make a great hostess gift. Now I've got lots of ideas swimming around in my head, and I'm going to go see what other kind of party I can create. I'll be back soon.
Oh, I like how her quilting head thinks.
I think it's so fun to take the gingerbread cookie and then add
very clever, yeah.
make wine bags and all of those kind of fun things. All right, our experts always come up with a block party worth of fun ideas, don't they? Again, I love the concept of using these units from the die to create a border.
Yes.
And remember, borders don't always have to be on the outside of a quilt.
That's right. Maybe you've got one set design in the center for a medallion style quilt. Then you could do like a narrow plain border.
Oh, yes.
Then you could do a border of those half blocks or those units that she was showing.
So you could use like the feather star or the carpenter's wheel that make those big 18.
Make a big 18 and then use this around it. That would be really cool.
Okay. You could keep the party going by adding another plain border, then a border full of blocks, and so on.
Oh, yes.
All right. Now, if you're making a quilt with this block, think about using your scraps. I'm all about the scrappy.
Yes.
With a strip die or two to make piano keyboarders that will imitate the stripes designed in the units of the block.
Oh yeah, that would be
We
fun.
should tell, here, wait, we're gonna tell you
Here.
how big it needs to be. Hold on, hold please. So you should totally use the 1.5 inch strip. It finishes to 1 inch.
Yeah, and then you
Then
can
the
have,
piano keys will match the
yep, then
stripes.
around the outside. That is so clever. So maybe you want to use the half rectangle triangle shapes on there. So those,
Oh, yes.
so you could put those together. We cut a bunch of those.
Yes, we did,
Together.
because there is a die for that.
There is a die for that. So we could put some of those together. And again, you could use your scraps, use that for a border.
That would
go
be really
along.
fun. Oh, look at that. Okay,
That's
hey, do
kinda
another
fun.
one, do another one here.
Do another one here. So let's do
Please
the,
make it in the same color so I don't lose my mind.
yes ma'am.
Okay. I mean, I am all about scrappy, but. Okay, so this would be cool because then you could continue it and it would go this direction and
this
that
way
direction.
it kind of is going to give you a stripe effect, but if you turned it around, you'd have more of a zigzag or a chevron effect.
You totally would. Oh, wait.
Wait.
Hold, please. Hold, please.
You want to do that and that. Yeah,
There you go.
we could do that.
All day we could be here.
We could be here doing things.
All right, well, what she did with the pieces in the Go Gingerbread Cookie die, again, was so cute.
Oh, it really was so clever, and cute is right. But also a great reminder for us to take a look at all the shapes on your dies, not just think about what you're going to make with them. You know, they're really, when you're looking at your bobs, look at those shapes real closely and see what else you can do with them, because it really increases the value of your investment in that die.
And in my quilting head, I just realized you could totally make party hats for gnomes, right? If you just use these.
Good. Party hats, they need them.
All right, I love how our bob dies are so versatile and can be used in so many different ways. And I think it's time to check in with our second expert to see other ways the Go Priscilla stripe die, there we go, can be used. Anita, what clever ideas do you have for us?
Well, hi, Pam and Erica. I am so excited to be part of the launch for the Priscilla Stripe 6-inch block. I tell you, one of the things I found most enjoyable about this block on board is that it finishes at 6.5 inches, but it's based on a 4-patch. So when I first tried my test block, it's based on this 4-patch here, so each of these is finishing at 3 inches. So, me being the cubaholic I am, I decided, I wonder what I can pair with this and how I can mix it up. So what I did, right after, I have a confession to make first of all. Before I did my test block, I just sewed the block together without reading the instructions. Don't do that, okay? Because these pieces right here is a triangle, and then when we see wings, we think triangle and a square. Well, if you sew your Priscilla stripe as a triangle and a square, you're going to get this nice custom piece, because you know, as quilters, we don't make mistakes, we make custom pieces. And you're going to have a circular thing going on. Well, my custom piece, I decided if I have 16 of these, that will be enough to put around a 10-inch circle, and I will have a wonderful table topper when it's all said and done. So those are not triangles in a square, okay? Pay attention to your sewing instructions. Well, you see this finishes at 3 inches. So I got to thinking, what cubes could I pair with this? And look, y'all may not think of this one. Here is the 4-inch. It is a 9-patch made from my 4-inch cube. So look how you can just substitute this in here. You still get that little triangles going on in the center, but look what a totally different look it gives you. So that is one of the cubes that you can pair with this. Now, let's have a look at another one you can pair with it. Now, this is a 12-inch block. As you can see, it's also based on a 4-patch. I have my 2 kites, and then I have my triangle on point, or my square on point. Because it is the 12-inch, I can take my entire Priscilla stripe block and just substitute it for any corner, and look at the difference that makes. Now, if you were to put all of those together into a project, you would end up with this lovely, what looks like to me a poinsettia type Christmas table runner. Isn't that gorgeous? Y'all, before I leave, I just have one more tip to share. If for no other reason you purchase this die, it will be for borders. How many of us have panels in our stash that we don't know what to do with? Look at this. Pam, this one's for you. I have a spooky Halloween panel here. I added my strip die to the sides, and then I used components out of our Priscilla stripe die and made candy corn on the borders. How cute is that? Now for Christmas, I had another Christmas themed panel here, and look at the blue coming in from that window. So I went ahead and used the 2 Priscilla pieces, and I made a border around that. So if for no other reason, you can just get these beautiful, quick and easy panel quilts, and now you won't have to worry about what to do for the border. But you guys, I could talk forever about this, but I better get back to my project. So we'll talk to y'all in a little bit.
Candy corn for the win.
Yep, I knew you were there,
Candy corn for the win.
but that is just brilliant.
Right, and that's an example of how you're going to use some of these pieces and the
Right.
colorway, change it all the way up.
Right.
Quilters, a little later, we're going to ask you to vote on your favorite experts project. Make sure you don't miss their final reveals. You're going to be blown away.
Okay, that was wonderful. Anita is so creative. Now, this one is almost just like what she put around that Christmas panel, but the dark would be on these side pieces
yes,
as well.
yes.
And then that would be just like what she had on
And that's
that border piece.
candy corn.
Or candy corn.
Let's talk real life.
Or candy corn.
Okay.
She does love her
Orange,
Halloween.
yellow, and white, and then the rest was all black.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very clever
isn't that
for
clever?
panels. Yeah, another
She's
great
very
use.
clever.
So another way to change up your look is to set your blocks on point. We love doing that. Now, with this block finishing to 6 inches, that would mean we'd use our 6-inch finished setting triangles die, and that's how we would lay these blocks out on point. Now see how fun that is with the yellow? This would be a really fun table runner. So there's the corner piece, here's the side piece. Look how fun that is.
Oh, see, look at that.
That
is
would go
great.
together in just no time.
And you and I talked
Or a
about the-
placemat. Just the 2 of those would make a great placemat. Put
Right.
corner triangles on all 4 corners,
Oh, there you go.
and you've got a placemat.
It would be so fun for parties.
It really would be.
It would be great because you could totally make it scrappy. And we were talking earlier about back in the day before we had setting triangles for all of the cubes.
Oh, yes.
Erica and I would just do non-math and just
Right.
kind of cut bigger squares and sew them and then just chop them off. But this talks about lengthwise green and it
Right.
keeps your pieces all
So
together.
this way, because when you do it that way, you tend to cut on the bias, and then you don't have the tight part on the outside of your
Right.
project. So here we're sewing that bias, that stretchy part, into the project so that it'll be nice and flat and straight when we make our lovely quilts or wall hangings or whatever we want to do.
Okay.
So if you don't have setting triangles, here's just
today's
one
the day.
more reason why.
All right, so the next natural partner for this die is the Go Mix and Match cube.
Right.
So with these shapes, you can interchange units from the die with the cube units to make your very own look. So here's that 4-patch look. And again, you could totally interchange these pieces here and have solids on the outside, right? I just think it's so, I love the fact that we can totally change that up, right? And you could do the same here. You could take some of these Priscilla stripes and put them here.
Right.
And then it would give you a completely different look.
Right, or just change things around.
Yeah.
So it's really fun. Well, block on board dies are so versatile, and they're so much versatile maybe than you think about at first, right? You don't want to fall into the trap of thinking that all you can do is create one block with it, because these dies will help you do so much more.
And here I am trying
Here
to
she
make
is
it working.
trying to make things and play.
See, okay, look at this.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I just think it's great. Okay, but a little easy math will show you could also pair up this block with the Go Mix and Match 12-inch cube like
Right.
Anita did.
That's right. And she was able to then substitute an entire Priscilla stripe block into as a unit for the cube blocks
Right,
because it was 6 inches.
right.
So you can also do a lot with color. Switching the background from dark. Now here we've been using these to show you, but we've got some that have a light and they're scrappy. And look at the difference. Okay? Having the dark negative space versus the light. It just changes it all up.
It just makes it look so different.
What if you do, you could do it in neutrals, this in neutrals and this in light. You could do so many different things with it.
And I love the scrappiness of this. It would be really sweet as a baby quilt because the blocks are smaller and you could totally, you know what you could do?
What?
You could do like black and white and red.
For
a
the
baby
centers,
quilt,
yes. That's fun.
Please, somebody
You could
make
make
this.
a wall hanging. You could do pillows. You could do table runners. You could do the placemats we had before.
Do all of those things.
All of those things.
And again, we really love what she did with borders and panels.
Yes, that was great. She's so right that we get these wonderful panels and then we don't know what to do with them. So lately our experts have come up with some great ideas for us, and it's just a reminder that when you struggle with what to do with a project, just think about it for a minute. There's a die for that.
There is. Okay. Erica, big heavy fabric today.
Big heavy fabric.
1 yard cuts from
Look at
our
that.
good friends. And it wouldn't be a quilting party without party favors for our viewers.
Oh, there we go.
Robert Kaufman.
Robert Kaufman is helping us make this launch party even better with this amazing selection of fabric. Now, like Pam said, these are 1 yard cuts, and you are going to see these same fabric show up in just a little bit in our trunk show.
Yes, because when I saw the fabric, I thought, this does not make sense.
Oh,
But it does.
but it does.
Okay, so we're going to give one big bundle of fabric to our first winner. Can we have a party horn, please? We're going to give it to Lauren M. of Jacksonville, Florida. Congratulations. Say hi to my brother.
In Jacksonville, Florida?
Yeah, my brother Brian lives in Jacksonville, Florida.
I'll be darned. The second winner of a selection of fabric is party horn, please. It's Nancy A. from Galesburg, Illinois. Congratulations.
And a huge shout out to Robert Kaufman for sponsoring today's show, because with these bundles, you can make an entire project using your Priscilla stripe die.
That's
I'm
right.
excited.
That's right. Now, speaking of having a blast with the Priscilla stripe blocks, I want to see what our experts have come up with for their final project.
Hardly wait. All right, let's start with our first expert. Vicki, what do you have for us?
Hi ladies, I'm really excited to show you what I came up with. I decided to pair our new Go Priscilla stripes with the Go Arkansas Traveler block. And I call this Go Priscilla Peppermints and Presents. Let me show you just a couple of things. I went ahead and I changed the colors on the Arkansas Traveler to look like a present, and it just looks so cute. And then I went ahead and varied the colors of red and white on the peppermints. And as you can see, I used a focus fabric for the center, but then I went ahead and did either white, red, white, which looks like the points are disappearing, or as you can see here, I did red, white, and red to give it a completely different look. This is going to make a great table topper for my Christmas table, or a great wall hanging. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Easy, Mary
Oh my gosh, that was so amazing. I love the peppermint. We both were like this.
We're just talking about
leaning in,
that.
talking about it. We can stand up now. I love how she alternated the reds on that and used the Arkansas Traveler. I had to stop and look about that to see the Arkansas Traveler in there, didn't you?
I did, and we were just talking about, sometimes we start new projects before we finish the ones that we have. I'm totally making peppermint blocks because you could totally make like a table topper with it or placemats with it.
Yeah.
But just that colorway is so amazing.
And that's a good question. We should ask that sometime. Do you start a new project before you finish the one you're working on?
So many.
That's how UFOs are born.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what Anita has made using the Go Priscilla stripe die next.
Well, welcome back, ladies. I have really enjoyed working with this new die, the Priscilla stripe. I cannot wait to reveal my cube magic. And so for you guys today, I was working with the 6-inch cube and the Priscilla stripe, and I present to you Trinity. Now, as you can see, it looks a little bit complicated, but all I did is I am using the Priscilla stripe block. 2 of those blocks remain, and then I substituted the other 2 for a triangle and a square block, and the rest of it is just color play with fabric. So I hope y'all enjoy this.
Okay,
So clever.
so clever. The colors are beautiful, the way that she put it together, and we think we might know how she did it.
We will, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. Right now, you have the tough job of voting.
That's right. Quilters, voting is now open. Let us know which expert project was your favorite. We also have the option to vote. They're both winners because if you're like us, you love them both.
I couldn't decide.
They're so different,
They
and the
are so
colors are
but
different,
they're
and the
both
theme.
Fabulous. All right, if you're watching via the registration link or on YouTube, you can click on the vote box below or to the right of the chat box. And if you're watching on Facebook, vote from the box that displays over the video.
We mentioned color earlier, but Vicki has inspired me to talk a little bit more about color. Now, we talk about changing the color all the time.
Yeah.
But look at what Vicki and Anita both did by changing out the arrangement of colors within the block. Vicki did it with the Arkansas Traveler, and Anita did it with the Priscilla Stripes. So how you work with the negative space can totally change the look of blocks.
That's right. And pairing the die up with some other block on board dies can change things up as well. Now, Vicki mentioned some early on. She mentioned the Go Wonky Heart, which is 6-inch finish.
Right.
And the Go Crazy Quilt that finishes at 6 inches. But another really fun 6-inch finish block that we thought of was the spool die.
Oh, here we go. All right, so here's our spool die.
Yes.
And we are going to pair it up here. One of the things both you and I noticed was that those points meet up there in the corner, which
Right.
is so cool.
So we've got kind of a similar design coming into the corner, and that's going to help them flow together.
And if we pair it up with the Priscilla stripe, we can call it a sewing party.
Oh,
Great, right?
so clever.
Okay. But
All right.
look, turn them on point.
Yeah.
Gives
There's
that
a whole
different
nother
look.
look. Yeah.
Okay.
And really anything that finishes with the 6 inches is going to be a natural. It's going to be really easy to pair them up. You could add sashing. You could not add sashing.
So one of the things I was also thinking about in my quilting head, because at home I know you find this hard to believe, I have some 6-inch finished crazy quilt blocks.
Yes.
That I just used layer cake.
Okay.
So I have how many? 42 of them.
Right.
Okay. So it would be fun to pair those up.
Oh, yeah.
With this and maybe some 6-inch setting squares to kind of build the size of the quilt.
Right. That's true. That's
All right,
true.
but what about pairing it up with a 12-inch bob?
Right.
Sewing 4 of these Priscilla stripe blocks together would give you a 12-inch finished block, and it would work with even more dies.
True.
And let's look at a couple that might work together, starting with one of our most popular, which is the Go Hunter Star.
Oh, that's right. And we've got a block here. So the Hunter Star is basically a 4-patch, right?
Yes,
so these
6-inch
are our
blocks.
and 6-inch blocks. So what if we come in and substitute a couple blocks in there?
So
We've
this
built
is-
a whole nother look.
And this is one of those times that you actually forever now will see the arrows
Right.
in the Hunter Star. That's why it's called.
Because it really calls them out. It really
Yeah.
brings them out.
Yeah, I like that a
That would
lot.
be really fun. You could also put 4 together and alternate them that way, but I kind of like substituting the units like this.
I do as well.
Okay, so we've got another star that we love that
Oh, here.
finishes to 12 inches, and this is
please.
the Go
coming.
Blazing Star. I'm just going to keep talking.
I know.
And this is our quilting expert, Jeannie Miller's favorite die.
This is from our good friend Eleanor Burns.
Yes. So look
Oh.
at this. This is interesting, isn't it?
So look at this secondary
That
design that
secondary
you get.
design.
It's kind of an offset shape, but
It
I
is.
think that this is really fun. And again, think about interchanging them, but just using these blocks. So, because just like Hunter Star, this
Right.
is the 6-inch block.
Right.
Or
Right.
Yeah.
Or you can set those off. You could, there's a lot of things you can do.
So many things.
Okay, that's that. Now, there's another one that we love, and it's the Ohio Star. And it's one of my favorite all-time blocks. But what if you use the 12-inch cube and the big shapes in there to make that Ohio Star? So this is going to give us an 18-inch Ohio Star block because we've got 6-inch units, right, Pam?
Yes, all the days. So look, you could put Priscilla stripes right in the middle.
How fun is
You
that?
could just totally change them out
Right.
for all of
For
the
all
solids.
of them, and then alternate them basically with quarter square triangle blocks.
I do like it just in the
I
center.
do like it just in the center, though.
And if we made these scrappy
Mm-hmm.
and this scrappy, then I would totally do this. Okay, but wait, hold please. There's more.
Try this one, yeah.
Because I want the background,
You want the background
to be
ma-
light,
to light?
to match the Ohio Star.
Okay.
Okay, I do love this.
So take the one that's got more blue in it, too.
There you go.
There, that's my, okay, that's the best one.
That's sold. Okay.
Sold. Okay,
so
somebody
think about
needs
that.
to make this.
Yes, please somebody make this. So it makes an 18-inch block. Think about that because you could just put 4 of them together and make a table topper, and you would
Right.
only need 4 of your Priscilla stripe blocks.
Right. Oh, and it would be done so quickly.
You
I
could-
made this 18-inch block in no time.
Yes. All right.
So don't be afraid to use your imagination and dream up
do.
other ideas, just like we do. The block is going to work with so many other bobs. It's going to work with so many cubes. There are so many things that you can do.
All right, in my quilting head. Now, while our quilters are dreaming up their own ideas and voting for their favorite expert projects, let's get into today's Die to Try trunk show.
That's right. And we're going to start off, because it's a party, with the Go Pinata Party wall hats, wall hanging by Bea Lee of Be a Quilter.
And this is the project that's on the packaging, and it's these. This was so fun. The video that we made
Yes.
is this block. But Erica, talk about how those blocks come together, and it really looks like party hats.
Look how it makes this little secondary design. Isn't that fun?
It is really cute. And today, you order the die today. You'll get it in the next couple of days. You can make it
Yeah.
over the weekend.
Oh yeah, this
Totally.
is going to be a quick project, just basic borders, quick all over quilting. You'll be done in no time.
It would be fun for what's that holiday? New Year's.
What's
That other holiday. That other holiday that's
Hectic around
coming
here.
up.
What can we say?
Okay,
I
this
think
is
everybody
it.
can relate. This is
is
the
it.
Go Watermelon Wall Hanging by Ellen Alt of Handmade 3D.
We're going to show you the back first.
This is that watermelon fabric you saw on top of the bundle, right?
Robert Kaufman fabric, and it is super cute.
It is so cute.
And Ellen did such a great job of quilting that. Look
She
at that.
really did. It's stunning.
Okay, now we'll show
Now
you
let's
the
show
quilt.
you the inside again.
Okay.
Does that not just scream watermelon in
It
summer?
does. I think it's just so clever.
How
and again,
fun.
it has the light background compared to the dark background. And you want to show a block right there?
Okay, so here's what I was thinking. I want somebody to make this and do one block, probably dot with the blue, but maybe do your background with the dark pink.
Yes. Make
and
it reverse.
switch it around, reverse it around, and just have that one dark block. I want to see how that
Okay,
looks.
so make the greens the same, folks.
Yeah.
Okay, and then switch the colorway of the pinks.
Right, so switch this pink to outside
Yes.
and this pink to
Yes.
inside.
Please somebody do that and make it for us, because I love quilts that have one block that's different
One block
than the
that
other.
pops.
It's kind of my life.
Or just a couple scattered.
Yeah.
All right.
However you want to do that.
The next one is maybe my favorite.
Oh, Susie Webster did this.
Susie Webster did this. This is the Go Priscilla in Ohio throw quilt. Susie Webster of Webster Quilts. And I love all the things about this die.
Okay, I'm loving this purple and pink and green
It's
look that
so
comes
fun
together.
and festive. She's made these absolutely adorable Ohio Star blocks with her 4-inch cube.
4-inch, because it's a 9 patch, so it's going to make a 6-inch finished block.
Right. Yes, 6-inch.
Right?
That's right. And we have a
Gosh.
thread. Never mind.
Don't make us do math on the fly.
December. So then here's our Priscilla stripe block. It's so bright, so fun. And then the green border with the hot
Yes.
pink around the outside, it just really sets it off.
And the sashing in between.
Love the sashing and those
1 inch finished.
cornerstones.
1 inch finished. Okay, so again, quilters, this is one that you make your test blocks and put them all together. But I just love this. Okay,
too. This
we
is
have
my
to
favorite.
give Katie a shout out because look at her quilting.
Oh, yes. This is Susie's.
Or Susie, sorry.
So here's, you can see the centers are different, but the green border has a completely different, very modern quilting. And then here we've got a very traditional feather border on the hot pink. I love it.
I like this one a lot.
I do too. Okay, so Lynn isn't here today, but if I was stealing a quilt, that was the one
That's
that
the
I
one.
would take.
Wait, still, it's a good
Just
thing
saying.
the Gibney's not here.
She's not
Okay,
here.
we have a last one. It's called Christmas Stars Table Runner by Katie Swigert of Katie Quilts.
There we
And this
go.
one is so beautiful.
Isn't this fun?
Because it looks completely different.
So this is talking a little bit like our experts were. We've got 4 complete blocks in the middle, and then it's surrounded by those half blocks.
Okay, so Erica, take a blue block and show them where the block
So-
is in the center.
So the
Can you
block
find them?
is right here,
Yep.
and then here we've got
Half
half
blocks.
blocks. But she's offset them, so it's not right here. She's offset them
Yeah, right there.
right there.
Look at that.
Isn't that fun?
And I love the colorway. And look, wait till you see the plaid on the back.
Okay, the plaid is just, I'm dying.
Good job,
over this
Katie.
plaid.
It's just darling.
I'm dying over the plaid.
Okay? So all of these patterns are available as free downloads on the AccuQuilt website, which means, Erica, they're also available in Go Quilt.
Yes.
So you could totally change up the colorway.
Yep.
You could totally make them your own. You could totally make them for the season you want to.
You could do that Ohio one in blues for winter.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, somebody
Okay,
do
for
that.
more information about each pattern, check out today's blog post and be sure to get your patterns downloaded before your die arrives so you'll be all ready to go. Great
Okay.
projects today.
So, voting is now closed. We're going to announce the winner in a minute. First, one thing we wanted to do was
Oh, yes, let's
we
show 'em.
grabbed some pieces. So, to show you how that triangle in a square
Yes.
was working with the Priscilla stripe in Anita's project.
Yes. So see how it's just part of the block, but it looks there and it gives it a different
and
colorway.
it gives us a totally different colorway. So that is how that was, she was doing that,
Right.
if you
And
were
this
wondering.
comes from the companion set angles. So if you're
The
looking,
6-inch size.
yes.
All right, so now we can give away our final party favor of the day.
That's a great idea. And the second lucky winner of a Go Priscilla Stripe die is Party Horn Please. Priscilla L. of New Holland, Pennsylvania.
To be a
Congratulations.
Priscilla.
I love it.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. All right, quilters, the team has counted all of your votes, and it is time to announce today's expert winner. Will it be Vicki with her Go Priscilla Peppermints and Presents wall hanging?
Which was stunning.
So beautiful.
Or will it be Anita's gorgeous Go Trinity wall hanging? Or are they both winners in your eyes?
All right, you voted and decided our winner is Party Horn Please. They are both winners.
Congratulations.
And they truly are.
They
because
really are.
They really brought different elements to it.
Totally different look.
Peppermint blocks and that Trinity block.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, wait, Erica, wait.
What?
Excitement for this block on board bash. We almost forgot to mention that we have special bundles for the
Oh.
Go Priscilla Stripe die and great deals available for you on our website.
Now, to get your order in, open a new tab in your browser. Type in AccuQuilt.com/party. There you can see those bundles and you can get your order placed.
All right. And we're so excited about the release of this die that we created 3 bundles for you.
Now, one of them is just the Priscilla stripe die and a cutting mat.
There you go.
Another features these two products plus the 6-inch finish die and the 10-inch finish cutting mat.
Yes.
So that'll be great for setting squares.
And if you're feeling festive like us, you can make your own quilting party with the Go Priscilla Stripes die and 3 other fun 6-inch finish bobs, which include that crazy quilt and the wonky heart and their corresponding mats.
That's right. Now you can also use the store locator on our website to find an AccuQuilt retailer near you and shop your products in person.
Quilters, at the start of the year, we introduced our Paying It Forward campaign called Covering the World One Quilt at a Time. This campaign is a collaboration between AccuQuilt and Moda Fabrics and the amazing Baby Lock as our sponsor. Together, one person from our teams is donating a quilt each week of 2022 to a charity of their choice.
Now, last week's donation was very special. It was made by AccuQuilt go-getter Melissa Corey of Happy Quilting. She donated her quilt to her nephew David through her favorite foundation, the Festival of Trees. That's a program that benefits the Primary Children's Hospital in Utah, bringing them holiday cheer in the form of decorations to comfort them while they're in a not-so-festive place.
Okay, and I love everything about this, Melissa. I love the fact that, look at how happy David is with his quilt and how bright and colorful. But you pointed out that the centers are for signatures.
Right, and so I can see little messages written in a couple of those blocks, which I thought was really fun too, little messages of support. And we really suggest that you look Melissa up on social media, read her story about the quilt and about David.
And on behalf of our entire team, we are sending David tons of love and festiveness this holiday season.
That's right.
Look how cute he is. I love that.
Adorable.
All right. Be sure to visit our website for details on how you, our viewers, can participate in covering the world one quilt at a time by going to learn.accuquilt.com/quilttheworld2022.
All right, you can also follow #QuiltTheWorld on social media to see fellow quilters' donations during the year. Now, Pam and I, we're wrapping up the end of the year.
We are.
So you were down to just needing to do your binding. How's it going?
You know how I hate binding. I'm working on it. I'm working on binding. But yeah, our donation quilts, mine is done. How about you?
Mine is at the quilters. So.
Okay, and then you will then need to put a binding on it.
Yeah, and I will need to put a binding on it.
But Eric and I were the last 2 of the year, so we're super excited about it. We have a local charity here in Omaha that we're donating
and
to.
I love putting bindings on.
I know. I should bring mine over. All right, it is time for me and Erica to get ready for our next show. We hope that you are as excited as we are about the Go Priscilla Stripe 6-inch finish die and all of the quilting possibilities.
See you next time.
Thanks for watching our show. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel and look for live events every Tuesday and Wednesday.
You can visit the events page on AccuQuilt's website for more details on upcoming shows. And while you're there, check out the blog for tips, tricks, tutorials, and inspiration galore.
And remember, at AccuQuilt, we help you cut time
so you can quilt more. Registering for each event means that you're entered to win a door prize that we'll give away during the show, so don't forget.
And join me every Wednesday at 12 noon Central Time for AccuQuilt Live. Next time, we'll be making one of the Priscilla Stripe patterns you saw in today's trunk show. Be sure to join me then.
We are so excited to offer even more inspiration that we have special events. Tune in to the next special show, the Green Monday event.
And join us every Tuesday at 12 noon Central Time for great shows like the one we had today. These events are filled with tips, tricks, and inspiration. Next time, we'll be launching 2 new dies. Hope to see you there.